working.
tested them as we always do before the show, except for episode one where I totally screwed that up. Um,
First time.
First time for everything. So hi, we are now at episode four and of Split Personalities. We are cheers
Cheers.
at my twin brother Ray's house. We
Once
made it back
again.
from Buffalo apparently.
Barely.
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 Ray and I don't remember much of the wedding night.
No.
Which our wives are very mad about.
hmm
I love you, honey. Thank you for taking care of us.
Thank you.
And shout out to the in-laws,
Yeah.
Tom, Julie, we love you guys.
Yes.
We were a
Thanks for
mess.
hosting us.
Thanks for cleaning us up.
This is like literally the first sip of alcohol I've had since Sunday.
Well, why don't we continue our tradition of I'm drinking here out of a Midnight Owl glass, and as always, the beer that is in this glass is a Masthead beer.
hmm I think Bob and I are literally drinking the same exact beer. It's like a double IPA
Yeah.
from Masthead. But it's pretty much I think I've had it almost every episode. But
Yeah,
I'm
I think literally what is it
it's my
called?
go-to.
What
Like,
it's let's give Masthead a shout out because
yeah,
we want them to sponsor us.
best
So
case scenario.
best case scenario,
Yeah.
if you're in the Cleveland area or if you're in an area where that gets Masthead beer, you should go pick up some best case
Yeah.
scenario because this is the shit.
Yeah, yeah. I think the reason we're drinking so much of this one just because like they do limited releases, so
Yeah.
you got to get this while the getting's good, because it's gonna be gone. It comes out I don't know once a year, maybe twice a year.
Yes.
Anyways, the glass
Yeah, the glass is
sponsor.
taken. Sponsor.
Uh,
We Masthead. We're gonna keep saying this until Masthead sponsors us. Masthead, we need a
New
sponsor.
sponsor.
Ray's also into Noble Beast.
Noble Beast. I love Noble Beast. They don't can as much. They're very much more like super local. Their stuff is harder to get, but like still one of the best. And oddly enough, they're like Masthead and Noble Beast are like around the corner from each other. They're
Are
like
they?
right next
You
to each
know,
other.
it's so funny as much Masthead as like you and I both drink.
Mhm.
I can't remember the last time I've like physically been there to
Yeah.
Masthead Brewery.
No, I'll only go there if like I really want to pick something up there that
Like
I know it's
that
gonna
you're
be
not
hard to
going to be able
get.
to get.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But Noble Beast.
Uh,
Also, if they ever want to be a sponsor.
I took Ray's recommendation. I went to Heinen's, so shout out to Heinen's too,
Mhm.
local sponsor. We know again,
Sponsor.
we love our
Local
sponsors.
grocery store.
We love our sponsors. We love companies who could be our sponsors,
Yes.
which is everybody because we can,
Everybody.
like we've said before, we can be bought by lots of money. If you have that Brinks truck and you're ready to back it up
Yes.
into the Cleveland Heights, into Lakewood,
Mm.
we're ready to take that
We'll
money.
go for it.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, we're low lives.
Yes.
We're real low down low lives.
So like, subscribe, and sponsor.
Yeah. We got to get those likes, get those subscriptions, push
Get
us in that algorithm
algorithm, yes.
controlled by the billionaires.
Exactly.
So,
Isn't everything these days.
yeah. Well, so like with most episodes, and I do want to make a special note here because this is our fourth episode. And when Ray and I had this idea for a podcast of, hey, we're bored, we're hacks, there are a lot of hacks that do podcasts online. We're just as mediocre as all of them. Like we could do this stuff too.
Right.
We'll talk about stuff with very general knowledge and no real insight. Um, we can do that. And
I have like general knowledge and insight into my childhood.
yes, right. Very general knowledge of our childhood.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
yeah.
kind of a haze,
hmm
like this past weekend.
Yes.
So basically, the big deal about episode four, when we were thinking about doing this podcast, I was following a lot of YouTubers. Actually, I think the company's called Think Media, so shout out to Think Media, because they were the ones that I went to YouTube to find out, okay, how do you start a podcast? Okay, what are some free video editing tools? Yada, yada, yada. And one of the points that one of the guys made on the Think Media podcast network, whatever, I don't think there's just podcasts, but he said that um, podcasts that get to and past four episodes are likely to make it. And so this is our fourth episode.
Yeah. We have not technically released anything yet.
No.
We wanted to make sure we filmed four and kind of like commit to it before like releasing anything.
So I guess like by making it, we really do need to post all four. But
Yeah.
we got to episode four.
That'll be another hurdle we will get to.
So I did want to make that sort of note. I think I'm going to stop the commemorating our episodes by buying figures. If you've been following us, you know that for each episode I've been collecting something. For Transformers, I got a Galvatron and I got a Ratchet and Brawn. For Resident Evil 2, I'm still waiting on the exchange to tell me where the hell my hunk is. For episode 3, I got us a Vegeta
Hmm.
and at the exchange, shout out exchange. And for this episode, they came in today, but not yet. They're like going to arrive at my house at 9 p.m. tonight, according to
Mm.
USPS. Um, I got the four Ninja Turtles, like the figurines from the like the ones that don't look like cartoons though. They
Looked
look
like the
like the
movie one.
1990 ones. Yeah, I wanted the movie looking ones because honestly, I can't. So that gets into our topic today, by the way. We are going to be talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And not the cartoon because I don't really remember a lot about the cartoon. I
No,
can't
I don't think
remember.
we ever really watched it.
Yeah, I mean, we might have watched it at like a cousin Michael's house.
Yeah.
I feel like I have vague memories of maybe catching it with him, like at his house when we would have those sleepovers with you, me, Mike, and Max. But that's even just me spitting into the wind here. Like I don't
Hmm.
even know if that's true. Childhood memories, fallible, you
I
know.
mean, I remember playing the arcade game. Those were sick.
Oh, the arcade games were awesome. Yeah, we when you and there were four characters. So
Yeah,
obviously,
exactly.
like
And
when we were at Major Magics, shout out Major Magics,
Magics, if they're
growing
still
up in
around.
if they're still around, growing up in Toledo, Ohio. For those who don't know Major Magics, it's
Kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese.
basically the same idea.
Yeah, yeah.
So we would like go to Major Magics and we would play the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles arcade game because there were four characters and those games were
Yeah.
dope as hell.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like they were just like kind of it was like Streets of Rage or like kind of a run around a
Yeah.
2D like side scrolling beat 'em up kind of
It was
thing.
always knowing that you could like hurt your, can you like
You
hurt
could
each
hurt your
other?
like teammates. So like
Yeah,
when you
exactly.
got four people on the screen, you really like cluttered
Yeah,
everything. You
exactly.
know, it's just kind of like which is annoying because I can't remember any other I can't recall any other
I
game
feel like in
growing up
Streets
from
of
the
Rage,
80s.
like you could do that
You
too.
could do
You
that? Okay,
mentioned
maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
Streets of
I'm
Rage.
remembering side scroll
I
way
don't
too
know.
much. Anyways, the thing we're going to focus on today is really the first movie that was released in March of 1990.
1990, like our introduction to Ninja Turtles.
Really, like our
Much like how like Transformers, like the movie was our
yeah,
introduction, like
that was
that
like the
was our
first.
point of reference. This movie is our point of reference to the Ninja Turtles.
Yes, exactly. Like I don't know why that seems to be like a theme for us because like Transformers was a cartoon show before it was a movie, but our touch point with that is a movie. And
I feel like it was whatever John showed us,
yeah.
honestly. We probably saw, well, actually, we probably didn't see it in theaters, probably because it was what, 1990?
No, but we had the
We
VHS.
did have the
And
VHS.
I was in watching and prepping for this, I was watching a lot of, I always go to YouTube to get some of my content, and when we're prepping for these shows, I'm watching other people talk about this.
Yeah.
And one of the ones that I didn't send you, but that I watched was somebody who's a cartoonist for, who does do some more recent, I can't remember his name, but he does some comic drawing for Ninja Turtles.
Uh-huh.
Sat down for an interview with two guys who host a show on YouTube who were really into or sorry, into Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles growing up. Um, and shoot, where was I going with this? Why did I stop you? I just lost my
Wait,
train of
I'm
thought
trying to
here.
think here too. We talked
Uh,
VHS.
VHS. Okay, so and I'm referencing the wrong video even. I watched a fourth video. The guys talked about
One movie, four videos.
the guy talked about there was something very unique about the VHS that was released in the US,
Mhm.
and it was the fact that when you pulled the tape from the sleeve,
Uh-huh.
it came with a Pizza Hut coupon.
Do you remember the commercial?
Yes, so
Yes.
that reminded me because I was always like I couldn't remember if we had the actual tape or because our uncle upstairs used to like bootleg tapes. He basically
Oh, yeah, I used to like
recorded. He would rent
you would
movies and
see,
record them.
would he do that? He would also record the them off TV. Remember, sometimes like those videos would have like commercials in the middle of
I just remember us
them.
having loose tapes in the house that had movies and shows and
Yeah.
stuff on it that we had gotten from our uncle.
Mm.
But
No, we definitely had the actual
Okay,
VHS.
we had the actual VHS, which and these guys in their YouTube show were talking about it, where they're like, "Hey, you remember that goofy like baseball commercial that starts
Yeah,
off the movie?" Because
I
that,
still love that. Like I vividly remember
yeah,
that.
because the
I can't think of this movie without thinking of that commercial.
yeah. Well, it's like it's basically
And
like
I
these
hold
kids.
up my glove. There's
Yeah,
some weird song.
it's and a baseball falls
Falls
into
into
my
my
glove.
glove.
I
I
can
can
play
play
right
right
field.
field.
Something I
Something,
can't remember.
something. That's a catchy
Yeah,
tune.
this is this whole like this is this whole commercial
There's
like
the
about a
whole little
baseball.
commercial slash mini story that brought like a little tear to the eye.
Yeah, it's like this
Yeah,
kid who's really scared to be out there playing
yeah, yeah, yeah.
baseball, and he becomes the hero of the game by catching the lights
Yes,
out or
yes.
something.
So we never got the coupon, but we saw the
But it was
commercial.
basically a Pizza Hut
Yeah.
commercial.
There
But
must have been a coupon in there.
yeah, well, the funny thing is the guy owned the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles VHS, the original one, and when his friend in the YouTube video pulls the tape out, he sells the Pizza Hut coupon. There's a
I
pizza, the
wonder,
Pizza
like,
Hut
do
coupon.
you remember, like, okay, so there used to be this store called Big Fun.
Hmm.
We do White Elephant with our family, like,
Yeah,
every
yeah,
Christmas. And so, like, when they saw Big Fun around, they sold, like, old toys and, like,
yeah. It was a toy
dumb,
shop.
like, joke shop stuff. They even had like a little ma guy who did magic tricks like there because you could buy ma magic trick
Hmm.
stuff there. Anyways, I remember I used to go there every year to buy like our white elephant something stupid
Right.
from there. And I
Yeah.
remember one year I bought a VHS copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and now I
And
never checked it. Like I'm wondering if it actually came
I wonder.
with that pizza
I can't believe that. I mean, it's
coupon.
so weird that he like that it was still there. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like a kid would have like because that VHS would have been bought by a parent probably for a kid or
Well,
by a kid who had some money on him.
yeah,
And they definitely would have used that coupon.
for
Like, I
sure.
couldn't believe this guy still had this coupon. Like, and his buddies in the video were like, "I cannot believe you still have this Pizza Hut coupon,"
Mhm.
which is sort of a funny thing too because like this kind of gets into the backstory of like, so I want to start the conversation with how did we get this movie? And part of that is like the whole Pizza Hut thing and Domino's because like that's the pizza they're eating in the movie.
Well,
Like
yeah, and
it's
like in
Domino's.
one of the videos you sent me, like
Yeah,
they
that's
had a
how.
very low budget for this movie,
Yeah.
and part of like their sponsorship was Domino's,
Right.
putting them in the movie, even though they then had ties with Pizza Hut after post movie.
Yeah, which was a really like interesting thing, like
Yeah,
or like a weird thing because it's like two competing pizza companies are like are prominent sponsors of the film.
yeah, like Domino's is like we're gonna take a chance on this, and then Pizza Hut's like this was successful. Like
Yeah, Domino's gets in like to the
now
point
we're in
where
business with you.
yes, right. It's like Pizza Hut was like the more like conservative, like waiting in the
They're probably the
wings.
bigger established brand at the time.
Yeah, it's hard to remember.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We
Pizza
had a
Huts
lot
were
of Pizza
everywhere.
Hut
Oh
in
yeah.
Toledo,
We
Ohio.
had Pizza Hut
Or
right
grew up
across from like where
right
our
across from the
brother
movie
used to work
theater.
in a movie theater and I remember like we used to have this tradition of going to see a movie and either before or after the movie we would go to Pizza Hut because it was right next to
Yeah.
it. And our brother worked at what was was it Franklin Park
I love
Center?
that movie theater.
Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
it was
And they had like a little arcade out front. Remember
yeah.
that?
Right.
And we sm like you walk in, it had like a very distinct smell to it too.
Popcorn.
Popcorn, and they had some sort of like I'm sure like spray or something
Oh
they
yeah, I'm sure all these
put
movie
out
theaters
there.
have all movie theaters really have like that sort of same smell.
Yeah.
And these
Anyways,
do or something.
that's the thing. Like it, kids don't have today. Like growing up in the '90s,
Yeah.
like going to
Like
see a
having to
movie,
go
like
like
that
physically
experience.
go well and it's like a whole night out like
Well, yeah.
it's this whole like it's whole this whole event it's like whoa we're gonna go do dinner then we're gonna go to a movie or
I
do
still remember
or
going to, and we were way too young to do this, but going to see our brother would sneak us in movies
yeah
sometimes
oh
because he
yeah
worked
he,
there.
like that was his babysitting us
Yeah.
sometimes
Oh yeah, yeah,
sometimes
yeah.
well, there was
He
one
put.
day our mom couldn't watch us or she was at work or there was something that happened and our brother John it was working the theaters that day
Mhm.
and he's like look just like walk between the movies. Like we basically would
Yeah.
walk out of one movie and go
Go
into
to another.
another,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. It was like
But
that
I
was our
remember.
babysitting for the
I feel
day.
like we went and saw Mortal Kombat, and we might get to this thing
Yeah.
eventually, the game and that the
Yeah, yeah,
'90s
yeah.
movie. But Anyways, I feel like that's one of the first movies I feel like I remember seeing in theaters. But
I
anyways,
feel like I remember that day going to see like Deep Blue Sea or
I
something.
remember, yeah, I remember seeing Deep Blue Sea. I
Like
remember
that
seeing
was
two movies, but Deep Blue Sea is the only one I remember.
yeah, I can't remember what else they
It
were.
was Sleepy Hollow, maybe? Was it the other one?
It might have been. That was such a creepy movie.
Yeah, yeah.
That movie gave me nightmares.
Prime Johnny Depp.
Okay, so that gets us into like, okay, well, and I do want to shout this guy out, so I wrote his name down. Oliver Harper. So for those of you who want to check this guy out, he does like recaps and re-reviews of like old
I think he even
movies.
like when I was looking at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one, I think he even did one for the Transformers movie that
Well,
we
it's so funny. Like
already talked
he
about.
did one. I looked him up, and like he did a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles one like 12 years ago, and then he revisits.
Redid it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's almost like he's like, okay, like I've been doing this long enough now. Like let me like I didn't give it justice, the first time
Mhm.
around. Like let
Yeah.
me redo this because
Mm.
I'm a better
YouTuber.
creator, content
Yeah,
creator.
we're just gonna refilm all
Yeah,
these.
probably. Well, like we're gonna run out of shit to talk about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey, let's redo. Like we were really shitty at video editing back then.
Yeah.
Like let's go back and do this and like let's be professionals
Mhm.
now. That'll be if we get some money in our pockets. Yeah, sponsors, we need some money in our pockets. We love beer. We're drinking beer. We love
Mhm. You can
Masthead.
send us gifts too.
You can
We're
send us
gonna figure
gift.
out a whole mailing thing
Yeah,
eventually. PO
we
box,
gotta decide on
maybe.
a PO box. You guys can send us stuff. Audience members, we do have a logo, but I'd love to get like the audience in on this to create
Yeah.
stuff for us.
We'd love to get like the audience. We'd love to get their chat GBTs in on this.
Boom. Yeah. Boom. We're all creators now.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
all prompters. We don't
Roll
we
prompters
don't
down.
make anything
No,
anymore. We just
no,
like
no, no,
prompt
no, no,
stuff.
no.
Like
We make the AI make things.
yeah, you get the ad to work for you.
Yeah.
It's like that who's that there was like this news story I watched like yesterday about everybody's up in arms with who's that guy who did like with promiscuous girl. Who's the
Oh,
I don't know if I would call him a rapper, but he's like a producer.
shit. I know what you're talking about.
Timbaland? I think it's Timbaland.
Timberland?
Everybody's mad at Timbaland because like he's created the first AI musician.
Oh,
He's cutting humans out of the like he's made it to the pinnacle and he's like burning the ladder for everybody else. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
he's basically like ruining music.
Well, it should totally now they can totally bring Tupac back. You know, where they used to be able to
Yeah.
like what is that Snoop Dogg shows or something where they would have like a virtual reality version of him. Now they can just like add AI to that or
Yeah, there you
something.
go. Yeah.
Now I can write
It's like
Tupac can create new music
It's like
now.
the Star Wars movies when they bring back people
Yeah.
to life, but like they just use like a AI generated their faces. Like
Hmm.
what was like the
Oh, Princess Leia.
like Darth Vader's right hand guy. He's
Yeah,
like
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's dead now, but
General Tarkin.
yeah, they brought him back like
I think
using
that's
AI
right.
or whatever, and like the AI knows his voice well enough to create new dialogue based on his voice.
Yeah.
All this crazy like sick, disgusting bullshit. But anyways,
Anyways,
we are looking
Teenage
for
Mutant Ninja
money.
Turtles.
Give us some money.
Yeah,
And
we're not talking about these new movies. We're trying to go back to
yeah,
1990, was it, when this movie
90
came out?
before the AI were here.
Well, let's talk about the very beginning of
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant
So
Ninja
let's
Turtles.
set the stage. The question being, how the hell did we get a movie about four turtles in New York in their martial art masters
And they are
fighting
teenage.
in their teenage apparently?
It's very specific. Not only they're mutant, not only ninja, not only turtles, they're teenage mutant ninja
Right.
turtles.
And I think that goes to sort of the mockery. Like,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
basically, this starts as two guys. Let me check my notes because I wrote their names down. Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. So, two guys are just dicking around in I think it was 1984, the first comic
yeah.
comes
Kind of
out.
making fun of other comic books.
Yeah, they're like, hey, like we're pretty good at like they must be good at illustrating or whatever. They're like, let's make a comic book. They were really into comics, but they're like, let's make a mock comic or a parody of all the stuff that we hate about comics today,
Yeah,
in comic book stories and genres today. And so they one of the ones that was highlighted that they really hated was Daredevil. Right, so like in Daredevil, and I've not read Daredevil, so I'm getting the second hand, but apparently Daredevil
yeah.
gets blinded by a tube of radioactive material. So they're
This
like,
is
okay, let's
this is before the Ben Affleck movie came out too.
exactly.
So
Well, yeah. And Matt Damon. Um, so like they're like, okay, tube of radioactive material that was in Daredevil. We hate Daredevil. Okay, our turtles are like also we got a tube of radioactive stuff for them. Um, and then it was also like, okay, Daredevil fights a group called the Hand. Let's name our guys the Foot.
Hmm.
So that's where the name of the Foot comes from. And basically they're just like, let's shit on all these comics that we don't like, all these comic books that we don't like. And so they make a mock comic, and probably the name Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comes about because it's like, what's some stupid thing? Like, what's the dumbest
Right.
thing we can think to name this? And so that's probably where the why the name sounds so ridiculous is because the whole idea behind creating this was like let's make a mockery of all of this.
Right.
And the funny thing for them is that their first issue sells out.
Hmm.
And then they're like, "Oh, like we could actually make a living doing this." And so there's this high demand in the comic book world for them to keep creating stories about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, and then
So
it's noticed by like
right.
TV. Isn't it interesting? Like weren't the toys made first before the TV show?
Yeah, well, so like I can't remember who I cannot remember the name of the person who basically this comic book series gets picked up by people in the industry and they're like, "Oh, these are cool. Like let's make a toy line out of them." And that's where some of the other changes come. Like in the comic books they all have the same color headband.
Hmm. Right.
And
They're like all red.
they're all red, or when it was black and white, they all look the
Hmm.
same. And so the toy line's like, well, we got to distinguish them. So we're gonna go red for Raphael, blue for
Hmm.
Leonardo, who orange for Michelangelo, purple for Donatello. So that's where like the colors come in. I imagine that's probably also where like the weapons come in. They'll have their own weapon.
Did they all have like the same weapon before?
I don't know. I've not read the comics,
Yeah, me neither.
but
I do remember seeing the front of the very first issue.
mhm,
Like I've seen that. Like it's obviously a very famous comic book now, like a
right,
holy grail of comic books. But I'm trying to remember if they had different weapons in that.
right, right.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Um,
Let us know.
yeah, somebody in the audience let us know we're hacks. So, anyways, uh, Playmate Toys picks this up and says, "Let's make a toy line out of it." But at the time in the '80s, and that might be the case nowadays too.
Bless you.
We got a dog
He always
sneezing.
does that when he's like on his back. He always eventually sneezes. He'll probably do it like several more
That's
times.
so funny. That must be a dog thing because like my dog Ripley does that all the time
Oh
too.
yeah.
I'm
Anytime he's
belly.
on his back,
Yeah,
he's in for a
Ripley
good
sneeze.
sneeze.
So
Brew, by the way, if I haven't mentioned
Brew, yes, Brew has been in episodes before. Notably in Resident Evil.
that. Hmm.
He was with
He's a
us.
big fan.
I'm a big fan of Resident Evil. So uh to have a toy line, and it might be the case nowadays too, you really needed a cartoon to go with it.
Hmm.
And so they're like Playmate Toys is like we're gonna make a toy line out of this, but we all like but if we're gonna make a toy line out of this, we gotta have a cartoon show.
Hmm.
So comic leads to toy line, leads to TV
TV
show. The
show.
TV show takes off, and so by 1990, the Turtles are like the best-selling toy,
Yeah.
and this is in the wake of also like, at this point, Transformers has been around, but it's probably in its waning years.
Yeah.
Like 86 was the movie, so that was the height of Transformers.
Yeah.
So like Transformers would have been the height of toy lines in my mind. So
Hmm.
by the time 1990 comes around, it's the Ninja Turtles. And they're like the best cartoon show and they're the best toy line. And so obviously people wanting to make money are like, let's take this popular thing and make it a movie.
Hmm.
However, it does there's a lot of skepticism about it. And Oliver Harper makes this point where he's like, 2 years before in 1988, they did the same thing with Masters of the Universe, and that was like He-Man Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
That was a complete flop.
Hmm.
And so there was some difficulty in trying to raise money for this
Right.
film
But in like
because
1989, Batman came out, and that must have been a huge success, right?
yeah, but I don't know enough about Tim Burton. Was Tim Burton because like they said, Oliver makes a point that this was the most popular or best selling movie that was made outside of Hollywood.
Yeah, that's the interesting thing about this movie is essentially it was an indie movie.
Right.
Um, which I think is what actually really makes it probably great. Because it was like super commercialized. It probably
Right.
would have been monitored more.
Well, and that's like, I mean, they went with a director who was basically an unknown,
Uh,
other than making like really good
really
music
good music
videos.
videos. He's part of the Aha famous music video.
Yeah,
Take
I
on Me,
saw videos of Billie
Billie
Jean, like
Jean,
implying that he had done that one. His name was hold on, I got his name right here. Uh, shoot, what was his name? Oh, Steve Barron. So Steve Barron was the director.
Steve Bannon.
He
Not
would have
spoilers.
directed a completely different movie, I think.
Completely different.
Quite different. I think the enemies would be a little bit different.
Yeah, they will be in LA or something.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of patrolling the border, I think, there.
Yeah, true.
Um, so basically, they get this unknown guy to do the film. I mean, he's not
He's
completely
respected, but like not
respected.
in the movie
But
industry.
like we have a limited budget, so a lot of their decisions were like, who can we pay less money to? In
Hmm.
my mind, thinking about it, they're like, let's go with a less known because we don't have a big enough budget. But the good thing about having gone with Steve Barron was that he was actually in a unique way. He wanted to be, and this is why the movie doesn't turn out so cartoonish. He wanted to stay true to the comics, and
Right.
and you mentioned Batman.
He wanted it to be like dark and
He
gritty.
wanted it to be like Tim Burton's Batman.
And
Where,
yeah, anyone who's seen this movie, yeah, it
yeah,
has
it's
that
totally.
feel.
I mean, like
Like
you,
that's why I love it. I mean, that's why it sticks out.
right, and that's why. Spoiler alert: we might we're going to focus on the 1990 movie.
We'll
Yes,
probably talk a little bit about the second one, but I mean,
yeah,
they're
but
totally different.
like in a mocking way
Hmm.
because that one definitely like the first one is successful, and so all the suits come in and are like, let's make this like as embarrassing as
let's sell the
possible.
crap out of it.
Let's sell the crap out of this. Let's make this cartoon like the characters look different. They're made to
Mhm.
look more cartoonish.
One guy voice is like completely different, but
Yeah.
actually, I think that's because
The guy who voiced Donatello was like in a
Corey Feldman,
Corey, yeah, one of the two
he was
Corys.
in rehab by the time the second movie came
Yeah,
out.
so like that he came back for the third one apparently.
He did.
Which we're not even going to talk
No,
about
we
the third one.
wouldn't
Third
talk
one's an
about that.
abomination. We're not even talking about
Second
that.
one's bad enough, but
Second one was bad enough. Um, so Steve Barron, in an odd way, wants to keep like even though he's not as well known, and they probably hired him because they didn't have a big enough budget. Um, he oddly makes the movie he makes it what it is. I mean, it's a
hmm
great you watch this movie and the film's grainy, it's gritty.
hmm
It doesn't like one of the points of somebody else I watched video I didn't send you, Ray. Um, you know, he makes the point of in the scenes that are shot in which the turtles are not involved, you would not know that this is a movie about superheroes or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
yeah,
Like it looks like a gritty New York City movie, and it's like other than the scenes where there are turtles on screen, you wouldn't know that it's a movie about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
right. And like apparently, and the guy said this in the video too. It was the best selling or performing or whatever like independent movie, right? For like years
Yeah.
until something else
Oh,
came out.
until Blair Witch.
Till Blair Witch.
Blair Witch
So
was it was basically the best indie movie ever made until
yeah.
well do we call it indie? I don't know if that's the right term.
I mean, I guess technically it is. Like I as an until watching this YouTuber like kind of break it down,
Yeah.
like I never considered it an indie movie because it was the Ninja Turtles were popular. That's why this movie came out.
Right.
But yeah, it was an indie movie. It was like a really low budget movie.
Right.
New Line Cinema was not like a big name
No, they were
at
most
the
famous
time.
for Nightmare on Elm Street,
Yeah.
which is also why so to touch on the second movie for a second, New Line they stuck with New Line, um, and the second movie came out within a year of the first. And
Yeah.
apparently that was like a kitsch thing that New Line was known for. Like every year they would release a Nightmare on Elm Street. Like
Oh
so
yeah.
like basically the second movie comes out like super quick. Like
Mhm.
they get done with the first one.
And you
and
can tell.
and it's like, oh yeah, right. They're like, let's make this less shitty. Like, hey, this thing that was really good, can we like make a shittier version of it and try to make more money
I
off
mean,
it?
I remember loving it as a kid, but like as an adult, like I remember years ago, I was kind of doing a deep dive into Ninja Turtles. I probably fell down like a YouTube rabbit hole, and someone was talking about the
Yeah,
the second one and like how it was catered more towards kids.
right.
They weren't allowed to use their weapons. Anyways, we'll get into it
Yeah.
if we get into it. But
So yeah, basically, so they choose Steve Barron. They make a lot of decisions here, that are budget friendly.
Mhm.
One of the things that they do, but it's in a weird way they do it right. It's like Steve Barron was the right person to direct this movie, and the studio that they go with, I had it written down too. The studio they end up going with was famous for Golden Harvest. They were famous for martial arts movies.
Mhm.
So the people who initially planned this film seem to be doing it right because okay, it's a movie about martial arts. Let's get a studio that's famous for martial arts. Golden
Movie
Harvest,
about teenage coming of age martial art
coming of age turtles,
with their
who
father. Shout out,
with their
it's near
grandfather.
nearly Father's Day.
Yes, it's gonna be
But
Father's Day
yeah,
soon
father a
on Sunday.
father who adopted four sons who are not only mutants but like a totally different species from him.
Yeah, he's a rat. He loves his four turtle children.
Have
They
you ever
all
seen
mutate.
the newest movie, the
The new
cartoon one?
No.
That one's actually pretty good. I think Seth Rogen
Oh,
was
okay.
part of it.
Interesting.
Anyways, he actually does a voice in it, so I think he is part of it. But like, there's a line in that movie where Splinter, I can't remember the exact line, so people might kill me over this, but essentially like Splinter was talking about them and the ooze and how it transformed them. He's like, I was an adult rat at the time, so it made me an adult, and you were all baby turtles at the time, so you all grew into babies. If you think about it, it makes sense.
Totally.
Yeah.
Um, so a lot of the decisions they make in getting ready to do this movie seem like end up kind of being the right thing because they go with a studio who is famous for Bruce Lee movies.
Hmm.
So it's like great, like this is a movie with where martial arts plays a huge role, obviously.
It's pretty good, like the fighting
The
scenes.
fight scenes are great. Um, and uh And so, in a weird way, because it's so low budget, it seems like they make a lot of decisions that turn out to be the right ones. But they end up one of the things that they decide and early on, because of the low budget nature of the film, they were going to try to do like a Roger Rabbit,
Hmm.
where
Hmm.
instead of doing
Yeah.
human beings inside of costumes with animatronics, they were going to try to do just
Like everyone's human and the
yeah,
turtles
the
are
turtles
cartoons.
animation,
Yeah.
which would have been such a I
Oh
mean
God, it'd
that
been
really
awful.
I mean I doubt Barron would have directed that kind of a movie because I mean he does he squashes that right away. Um
And he
uh
goes with the Godfather of puppets.
yes, Jim Henson in his Creature Studio.
Hmm.
Um So, but that decision to not do animation, to bring Jim Henson in and his studio basically doubles the budget. Like instead of
Oh
doing
yeah.
$3 to $4 million movie, we're now talking about like an $8 to $9 to $10 million
I think it
movie.
was actually 13 in all told. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm wrong.
basically the initial plan was let's do this $3 million movie and now add 10 million onto the
Yeah,
budget.
and they're like psych, which I feel
So,
like is probably every Hollywood project, right?
oh yeah, everything's I mean like the sort of like nomenclature. I don't know. I don't know if that's the right word to say, but it just seems like my wife and I just had work done in our backyard. It's like, okay, you're planning, like you think it might cost three, it's going to cost six. You know what I mean? Like it's just like take whatever figure in your mind you think it's going to cost and double it, and it's probably going to be that.
Right.
And I'm talking about like we just did landscaping work, and that was it, and it was 5 grand later. Um, anyways, but they make the right decision, right? Like Jim Henson comes in, He was a little shaky about doing the movie because he was used to doing very kid-friendly stuff.
He was worried about the weapons,
Yeah, the weapons.
which
Which,
eventually becomes a problem with the parents. But
yes, it actually, you probably caught on to this, but in the UK and in Europe, they actually
they
removed some
removed
of the
the
weapons. They
nunchucks in the
removed the
UK. Why
nunchucks
did they do that? He mentions
because
this.
apparently, during the era that precedes this, in I think it was in the 70s. I might have my years mixed up, but like when Bruce Lee became famous, kids would basically make their own handmade nunchucks. And
Is
like,
this like a huge problem in the UK or something?
I guess, like, I don't know, like they were basically by the time this movie comes around, not like the imagery of nunchucks in a movie are like banned. Like you cannot.
Yeah, which is insane to like think of like one character's main weapon is nunchucks. Like, what are you gonna
And
do?
apparently a really annoying thing with the that he notes for the German film was that they added in goofy sound effects
Yeah, I
to try
did
to make
remember
it
that.
more kiddie, like to make it more of like a kid's movie,
Hmm.
like, hey, let's add goofy noises into scenes.
Yeah, which would have like annoyed. Yeah, because it ruins the
It
scene.
just
Like
ruin it's just annoying and
the
ruins it.
scene could be like great, which it like the scenes in this movie are great, but
Yeah.
like yeah, if you add like weird noises into it, like it
Oh,
just destroys it.
right. So, basically the US version is probably the version you want to watch.
Hmm.
The other ones remove some of the weaponry and if you're watching the German version, hopefully you speak German, one, but two, you're gonna get a lot of really annoying sounds in that movie. Um, so basically, to get the film across the finish line, they had to get other people invested. And a lot of companies who seemingly look at this and think, okay, this is going to be a big deal. Virgin in the UK
Yeah.
buys the right to like the pre-sale
So
right.
yeah, so like New Line is like
New Lines is New Cinema.
is
It's like
who
new
does
like
well, New
independent.
Line is like who does it in the US, but it's like
Yeah.
Virgin in the UK.
Yeah, right. So before they were making mobile phone or doing mobile phones, they were doing film.
Yeah.
But so Virgin in the UK, New Line Cinemas in the US, they buy into it, and then basically like the final kind of contributors were like the pizza shops, like Domino's comes in and they're actually featured into the film, and
Hmm.
then very late in the game, Pizza Hut
22 and an eighth
22 and 8. You're standing on
on
it,
it, dude.
pal. And he slides the Domino's pizza into the sewers.
The guy's got what did he say?
Pizza guy's
Got
got 30
30
seconds.
seconds.
While Donatello's skateboarding around the sewers.
Is it Donatello skateboarding or is it
Donatello's, well,
Michelangelo?
Michelangelo is sitting there eating a popsicle,
Hmm.
and then Donatello's skating around and he
Oh,
comes
okay. Yeah,
upon
maybe you're right.
Michelangelo. Okay, so anyways, so the movie comes out, the movie gets funded, comes out in 1990. Um, there's a lot of stuff. I'll very briefly talk about the stuff that happens post-production. The director leaves
I
because,
know. That's kind of crazy to think about.
well, here's the craziest thing. The movie's awesome. In
Still
my,
like dark and gritty, like that was like
yeah.
his vision.
The soundtrack slaps.
But
Even
like here's the thing, like the musician the director brought in,
had
they
2 months. They're
didn't
like, hey, you got 2 months to do
no,
this.
they didn't use. They brought in their own guy,
Well,
remember?
well, the director wanted one guy, and when he was forced out, they brought their own guy in.
Yeah, and that's who made the music for the film.
Yeah, which slaps. Like
It does, yeah.
my point is, this movie's great despite a bunch of changes that are made
Yeah, kind of
post-production.
like thrown together at the end.
Right. So, and the really weird thing that Oliver notes in his YouTube video on this is the score. So, like, the soundtrack's been out since the 90s, but there's a bunch of music to this movie that doesn't come
Mhm.
out until 2018.
Right.
Like the scores, like
Mm.
the scenes with like Shredder and the Shredder entrance and like those dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun, dun.
like the
Dun, 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 dun.
that right? No, that doesn't sound right.
Dun, 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 dun.
No, that's different. That's something else.
No, it isn't. Bum, 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 bum. Is it? Wait, is it am I confusing what's
That's something
Axel
else.
Foley
Yes, that's what you're thinking of.
fuck, what it was okay, what's the Ninja Turtles one?
Okay. Yes. Okay, we're back on track. So basically, those scores do not come out until 2018, which they're redone by the guy. I can't think of his name, but the guy who's brought in post-production who does them for the film in 1990. He ends up releasing them in 2018 because there's a bunch of fans who are like, "Hey, we want this music to this film that's never been released," you know.
Mhm.
So he redoes it and releases it in 2018 for like a CD and vinyl. Um, so let's get into the film. So the film starts off with
You
shot.
love like the start of the film
Yeah,
too.
it's great. Basically, like there's a bunch of vandalism and mugging and um like stealing that's going
Yeah,
on
there's
in
a
New York City.
like kind of like a porter that's like kind of narrating like this
Yeah, the film kicks
story
off with April O'Neil speaking, and she's
of
basically
yeah
telling
about
him.
muggings while you're seeing scenes of muggings going on.
Right, right. So like there's a truck, like this guy walks away, he's about to deliver
Mhm.
something, he comes back and everything in the back of his truck.
Yeah, exactly. That was a cool scene.
Yeah.
Like he has a truck full of stuff. He like literally walks away for 15 seconds, walks back, all the stuff is gone.
There's this woman on a fire escape watching her TV. Somebody somehow scales his fire escape, steals his TV.
TV runs away.
Spider monkeys down the fire escape.
Ninja vanish.
Ninja vanish. Um, the movie starts with April O'Neil kind of like, and she's the problem, right? Like there's this group called the Foot, that's led by Shredder.
They just want to go about doing their crimes
They're
without
just
being
they're
bothered.
just trying to be delinquents, and
Yeah, they don't want to be reported on.
they're getting real upset about people trying to bring justice.
Yes.
And
Or
so
reporting.
April O'Neil is trying to cover the story that nobody else seems to care about, and especially the police chief
Chief, yeah.
does not want talked about, and yeah, because it shows his level of incompetence that he can't figure out what's going on. And so basically, she's telling the story nobody else will, and Hyper, our dog, the dog's back. Um, Joining us as always is Brew, our
Mhm.
third podcaster.
Yes.
Um, so April O'Neil is telling the story that nobody else wants to tell. She's talking about the muggings, and she's making connections that nobody else seems to connect. And she's like, okay,
Mhm.
this has eerie similarities to a clan, like a group known as the Foot that used to
Operate in
operate in
Japan.
Japan.
How did she get to that, by the way?
I feel
Are
like
they like
that's I
Japanese Americans
she's like
who
she's getting people unknown sources out of Little Tokyo, of
Little Tokyo?
course, um, are feeding her information of, hey, this happened in Japan once. It's
Is
like,
there Little Tokyo in New York?
I'm sure there is. There's a little everything in New York.
Okay.
New York has a little of everything. Um,
Little
yeah,
this, little that.
so that leads to her kind of being stalked by the Foot.
Hmm.
And not necessarily the first attack that happens, but she's like after that reporting, she's walking the next scene, she's walking to her van
Hmm.
and she gets jumped by Sam Rockwell and a bunch of other people.
Sam Rockwell,
Our
who's in
buddy
this movie.
Sam Rockwell, shout out. He's like he has probably the least amount of screen time and is the most successful actor in
Yeah,
this
exactly.
entire
As a
film.
kid, I would see that guy. I was like, I always liked the scenes with him. Like, I
Yeah.
always thought he was a fun character. But like revisiting, I don't remember when, but like at one point, I remember revisiting the movie as an adult, and being like, "That's Sam Rockwell."
Yeah, right. As an adult, you're like, is that Moon?
Yeah, is that Moon? The guy from Moon?
Is that the clone from
Um,
Moon?
Menthol Regular.
Yeah. So she gets jumped in a parking lot walking back to her car, and all of a sudden you see Raphael, his sigh,
Mhm.
flies up into the light bulb,
Yeah,
breaks the light. There's no light outside now. It's dark. It's like pitch black dark, so that the Ninja Turtles can come and
just
being
hearing some
not
like
seen,
background noise, just like ha ha
just hear a
ha
bunch of
ha.
fighting, and they're all
Yeah,
tied up.
and they're all tied up.
And April O'Neil has been saved. The thing that happens though is Raphael loses his
His
sigh.
side.
He left it behind. And you just see there's three times that Raphael says the word damn in this movie. And the
Hmm.
first time he says damn in a
Hmm.
kid's movie, by the way,
Yeah, yeah.
he's like peeking out of the manhole and April O'Neil sees his sign on the ground and goes and grabs it and pulls it towards her, and he's just like,
Damn.
damn. And then
And
goes
then it dun, 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 dun. I will say the guy they did bring in to do the music, like it oddly works. Like the
Yeah.
cartooniness of the music does
Well,
work
it
with the
said he was
gritty.
inspired by like Tom and Jerry, like the composer from.
Yeah, but oddly enough, and I think the YouTuber makes this point too, it's like it does almost work too, because like if you were a fan of the cartoon, like this music fits for
Yeah,
that cartoon.
it feels like Ninja Turtles to me.
Although I don't think that was like an inspiration for him. I think it
Yeah,
was
no,
like,
oddly enough, a lot of people working on the movie had no concept of it before the working on the movie. Like they had
yeah.
no concept of what
I don't
Ninja
think the
Turtles were.
cartoon really was any influence to the
Well, the
movie.
composer, like apparently his 12-year-old son had to tell him about
Oh
what the
yeah,
movie
yeah, yeah.
was. Like he didn't even know. So, and obviously the director didn't either. But again, like there's some weird, like
Well,
there's
the
something
studio
very
just told them to make it like uplifting.
right. Well, yeah, they brought this composer in because they were like, okay, the film itself is too dark. Like you've got to interject this music in here that makes it a little bit more
Like
like
upbeat.
uplifting.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
And it works.
yeah, it does. I mean, oddly enough, this film just is great. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a great
It's weird
movie.
how things just they just work together.
Yeah, like all the people that worked on this, how low budget was to start with, like, how many people who worked on the project had no concept of what the
Like the
Ninja
director
Turtles were.
leaving before the movie was edited, like the
Yeah,
final version was
it was
edited.
just like the movie's just great. It's one of the best. It's got to be one of the best movies based on a cartoon show that's ever been made.
Based on a comic book,
Or
yeah.
comic book, like it's one of like it's one of those movies where it's where you don't have to really have an understanding of the comic or the show or the or not that there were any games at this point, but like you could come into this blind and just enjoy it.
Hmm.
And it's just a great movie. Like
Hmm.
you don't even have to be a fan of the franchise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to like the movie.
No.
And the music slaps. I mean, the music's great.
Sorry, my brother's allergic to cats, so
That's
I'm
okay.
trying to keep
I
the
just pet
our
the cat.
three-legged kitty away from him. And the dogs are very interested. Cats.
Um,
True.
so yeah, that's a funny this is a funny thing about the film where so many people are just not familiar with it that end up working on it. And yet stay true to it. Like they stay very true to the source material.
Hmm.
And so April O'Neil gets Raphael's Psy but she continues her reporting on the foot.
Yeah.
And it's that reporting that gets her into more trouble because
Yeah.
Shredder basically sees her on TV chastising the chief of police,
Hmm.
and he like throws a little knife at the TV, and he's like, "Bind her,
Find her.
silence her."
Silence her.
And it's that like order that then, and Raphael, not knowing this, is tracking her
Yeah,
because he
yeah.
wants it. He's like,
He wants the side back.
yeah, he's like,
I gotta get back. I gotta
he's
get back.
like they come back and they report to Splinter after they saved April and he's like, how'd it go? And they're like, we weren't seen. And then Raphael bursts forward. He's like, I lost the Psy. He's like, then it is gone. I can get it back. I can get it
Get
back.
back.
And so basically he's the only reason he's tracking April is because he wants his little knife back.
Yeah.
And so uh but in tracking her, she's been talking about the foot. She won't stop talking about the foot.
Hmm.
And so, and they're like, Shredder's basically like, okay, you better find this girl and shut her up because she's the only one like who has any knowledge of what's going on in talking about this. And so,
Root
basically,
down. Ow.
um, basically like in Raphael's sort of like selfish motive to get his side back, and in tracking her, he is at the right place at the right time,
Yeah.
basically. And basically the foot jumps her in the subway.
He's like a little cat. Oh my God.
You got dog issues here. Um, he's Raphael ends up being in the right. He's tracking April. He wants his side back. He just ends up being in the right place in the right time,
Hmm.
and the foot attack April in the subway as she's waiting for the train.
Yeah.
And it's a great scene
Good
where
scene too,
this
where
one,
he's like, "I have a message for you."
and
And
she
he like
like
slaps her.
she has like a little joke where a sort of offensive joke where she's like, "What am I late on my Sony payments?"
Yeah,
Because Sony's a Japanese brand.
yeah, yeah.
So there's a lot of offensive like accents in this film and and like a joke offensive joke like that.
Hmm.
And so yeah, like he basically holds out his hand. He's like, a message for you. And something like something about her mouth may yet get her into more trouble or something like that. And
It's just
he's
something
like,
about shut it and like
and he
slaps
goes,
her.
I have a message for you. Shut it. And he slaps her
Hmm.
in the face. And then
Then she
Raphael,
pulls out the side.
oh, she pulls out, that's right. She fights back first.
Hmm.
And that's the other thing about this movie and the awful part of the second movie is that they get rid of April O'Neil. Like they get rid of
Yeah,
her
I guess she's not
character.
really part of it. The actress who played different actress, she was good. Like I don't know much of the work she did after that movie, but
Well, apparently she was mo at the time in which this guy made this YouTube video, Oliver Harper. Shout out to him again. At the time in which he was filming his video on Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he had referenced her more recent work, which was Nashville.
hmm.
Judith Hoag is the actress
Hmm.
who plays April O'Neil in the first
Yeah, I
film.
personally don't know her in anything else.
Yeah. I mean, like, I I thought she was great.
I thought she was good too.
And apparently, the only reason she doesn't come back for the second film is she was a little bit outspoken about, I think, how some of the staff were treated on the first film.
Oh, really? I didn't hear this part.
I think it was either the staff. I don't know. There were various reasons that were implied as to why she wasn't brought back, but like she was the best April. I mean,
Hmm.
like of the three films, I don't even know who was in, I don't know the third film. I don't even know who played if April was in the third film or who played April. I do remember the second film, and I mean Judith Hogan in the first film in 1990. She was the best April.
Hmm.
Um, she's great. And um, I don't know why where I was going on that. I'm on like a tangent now.
Well, Walt Raphael comes in to save
He
her.
says her, and
Bullfight scene. He
cool
beats the
fight
crap out
scene.
of them.
He beats the crap out of the foot. He in trying to save April, he basically she's unconscious and he picks her up and drags her back into the into like their home in the sewers.
Yeah, and then
But
like,
that's how
but
they get tracked
you
too.
do see like one of the foot is still conscious, and he falls them, and that's where he finds their lair,
Right.
which becomes important later on.
Right. So, she wakes up. She's now like in this. She makes this joke about, why don't I ever dream of Harrison Ford?
Hmm.
But she thinks she's dreaming, and she's like, which is understandable because she's confronted by a human-sized rat and four human-sized turtles who
Hmm.
are also apparently
That's where we get like a little synopsis of like,
yeah, like basically Splinter's like, okay, like let me give you the lowdown, blah blah blah. For those who aren't those who are in this movie theater who have been following the Teenage Mutant Ninja
mhm.
Turtles, this is your scene.
Yeah,
This is
it's
where I'm
like
gonna tell you what's happening.
hashtag ooze.
Hashtag
That's
ooze.
all you gotta need. That's
All
all
you
you
need
need
to
to know.
know, ooze makes you bigger and it makes you talk.
Yes.
So basically, Splinter takes in these four turtles. He raises them to be his own, and he
Hashtag
also
Father's Day.
hashtag Father's Day for the fathers out there.
Mm-hmm.
And for the Splinters, raising
Hmm.
four teenage turtles.
Adopted sons who are mutants.
Yeah, that's a hard life right there.
Hmm.
Also, for some reason, he decides to teach them martial arts.
Yeah.
And Splinter knows martial arts because, as a rat who is unintelligent and has not been exposed to ooze, somehow he's able to practice martial arts in this
Well,
cage.
he is exposed. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
But at the time
Before
in
the
which he's
ooze.
but at the
Yeah, you
time
see him practicing ninja
yeah,
moves.
like he's back in Japan and he's like he's absolutely doing like punches and kicks as his master Yoshi is training
Hmm.
and he's doing and as if like we've ever seen a rat do that. And it's like that's the sort of one of the gaps in the story for me. It's like okay, he's not an intelligent being yet and yet he's like he's training for like he's martial arts training in his cage.
Right.
And for some reason this guy keeps a rat as a pet.
Right. He got a little bit of that T virus, and then he found the G virus.
There you go. Um, so that's just really weird, but apparently that's again the director staying true to the comic because
Mhm.
apparently in the cartoon, and maybe the cartoon f found the comic too far-fetched, which is funny for a cartoon. Um, in the cartoon, Splinter is a human turned into a rat.
Mm. I
Whereas,
never knew that.
I wouldn't have known that either unless I was watching.
Also, like magic.
I don't know, some lab like well in the comic versus in the cartoon. So there are different like inspirations taken for this film. Steve Barron takes mostly his inspiration from the comic, but he does put elements from the cartoon into the show, into the movie, because in the comic, April O'Neil works as a
Yeah, in the
science.
comic, she's like a research
She's a scientist,
scientist or whatever.
but in the
But in
in the
the
cartoon,
cartoon,
she's a news person,
reporter, which is
reporter.
what the like movie went with,
So there are elements.
which is what like everything that has gone forward goes with now, right? I mean, April's always a TV reporter.
Yeah, I mean, it makes more sense for like her being in New York. I mean, like I don't know. I can't like imagine that movie with her in a research lab.
Yeah,
Though it would have made more sense maybe if like they stuck to the cartoon and like maybe in her research lab, Splinter turns into Splinter. I don't know.
yeah. I don't know anything about the
The
comics either, but
cartoon
I feel
seems
like
weird because it's like, okay, this human is turned into a rat, but now he knows martial arts.
uh,
Like the scientist wouldn't have
right.
practiced martial arts, right?
I don't know anything about the comics, but I imagine the comics too must almost adopt April as like a reporter. Almost in the way where like, the Batman, like Harley Quinn was never a character in the comics. She was made
Hmm.
famous by the Batman cartoons, which we grew
Right,
up with.
right.
And then like the everyone loved her so much that she eventually became part of the comics.
And she was
It
basically like
became part of the canon.
Joker's like underling.
Yeah, yeah. So like she got fitted into like the whole canon.
Right.
So
That's so interesting. She's such a big figure in that. In my mind, had I not known that, like to me, like she's such a big fixture in the Batman universe.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm. Anyways, so Splinter is like a rat who practices martial arts and then later on becomes a very intelligent being, but somehow like had practiced martial arts before that. None of that really makes sense. All you need to know is that his master was killed by, which is a very like grim scene in the film. It's all
Hmm.
there are times in which you watch this movie and it's like this does not feel like a kid's movie. And one of those scenes is later on in the film where Splinter is telling Danny and Danny is the Charles is the boss of April. He has a son Danny who is involved with the Foot Clan
Yeah.
because he's stealing stuff. He's a
Hmm.
delinquent, uh, jackass.
Hmm.
You might say,
Sid Vicious fan,
yeah, Sid Vicious, punk. You
I
might
might
say.
say.
Um, Danny, I think, guiltily feels bad about his involvement with the Foot, and so he will sneak off and visit Splinter at times in the film.
Hmm.
And one of the times is when Splinter reveals to him how he gets to the US, basically. And it's like his master Yoshi was really into I think it's Yoshi. God, every time I'm saying that, I feel wrong because I'm thinking of Mario.
Yeah.
I think it's his
Is
master
it
Yoshi.
Urokosaki? He was the bad
Rokosaki
guy.
is Shredder.
My master Yoshi. Yeah, it was Yoshi.
Let's say Yoshi. Anybody in the audience can correct us. But basically, a woman that Master Yoshi loves convinces him to not fight Orokosaki and to just leave. Like
Hmm.
Orokosaki and Yoshi are both fighting for the same woman.
Hmm.
And the woman loves Yoshi, does not love Orokosaki. She's like, okay, so for you to avoid fighting this person to the death, like let's leave. They go to the US. He brings his rat because of course, why not? Like,
Hmm.
this is my pet rat. Everybody has
I
pet
imagine
rats.
he works a construction job because the one thing I remember, like
Yeah, he's wearing a
him
construction
showing up
outfit.
in his death scene, like he's wearing construction outfit. He's got the hard cap that he's holding to the side.
Yeah.
And he just shows up, and the guy's there with like a ninja sword and kills
Right.
him.
The guy's there in his more traditional outfit.
Hmm.
But that's like again, it's like you watch that scene, you're like, oh, this does not feel like a kid's film.
Hmm.
That was a pretty
He
cool
kills
scene.
her too, right? I feel like they're
She's dead
both.
on the floor.
Oh,
He
right, right,
walks in
right, right.
and he kills Yoshi and cuts Splinter's ear off.
Mm-hmm.
Because Splinter jumped and like was scratching his face.
His face, yeah.
Anyways, April is there with the turtles because Raphael saves her. One of the Foot Clan find out where they're living. They end up that night for some reason, I think, escorting April back to her apartment, and they end up staying there to have pizza because
Mm-hmm.
the pizza, hey, uh, Ninja Turtles love pizza,
Ninja
kids
Turtle
love
thing.
pizza, natural
Yeah.
connection. I feel like Ray and I,
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
exactly. I
Pokemon.
think Ray and I gravitated towards the Turtles too because
We love pizza.
like all
That's
we
like
ate as kids
our
was
main
pizza.
food source.
Main food source as kids was pizza, SpaghettiOs.
Yeah. Now having my own child, like her only eating like two things, like it really annoys me. So, so
And then you remember
I'm
back
you
about
remember back
how
about how
bad.
like a terrible picky
Ray and I
eater I am.
are we're number 6 and 7 of 7 kids.
Hmm.
Gross.
Yeah.
But I feel like our parents
Irish
by the
Catholic
time
family, but
yeah.
we're going to Ireland soon.
Yes, we're gonna take these mics and camera to and we might do some filming abroad in a little bit. But
Yeah.
we being number 6 7 of a big family, I feel like our parents just like didn't give a shit by the time we were around. It's
Yeah,
like,
I mean, we
look,
got
we
to
had to
watch all the
like
movies we
struggle.
wanted to. Like, I
I
mean,
feel like we got away with any.
we
The
were like
weird thing
five or
is,
six when we went to go see that Mortal Kombat movie.
yeah. Well, the weird thing is like we were like the best like I don't not best behaved, but we got into the least amount of trouble.
By the time we were in, yeah, when we were in high
Like we did not
school,
drink
like we didn't
until we were in
drink,
college.
we didn't go
We like
party.
self-policed ourselves a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah.
Whereas the siblings we had our older siblings uh who were all policed more than us were in a weird way like more I don't know.
I
Like
mean, by the time we came out around
fleshed it out a little
as
bit more.
babies, I'm sure they got away with a ton
Yeah.
because
Oh
mom and
yeah.
dad didn't have time
Because
for
they were young
anything.
adults by the time we were like around on the
Because
scene.
Brian was in
Brian was
sophomore.
like a freshman in college,
No,
right?
Brian. No, by the time we were born, Brian was like sophomore, wasn't
Uh,
he? I think I was three when that picture at John Carroll was taken. Remember
yeah.
that famous photo?
Well, so then he was, but well,
Yeah, I think he was in like in his sophomore year or something when we were like infants.
well, okay, whatever. We're
Anyways.
getting into our family dynamics, whatever. Um, Suffice to say, Ray and I were really bad picky eaters growing up,
Hmm.
and so the turtles eating pizza. We're like, hey, that's what we
Hey, we
eat.
love pizza.
We love pizza. Kids love pizza. Um,
We just saw that commercial before the film.
we say, hey, we saw that kid catching that baseball and going to Pizza
Yeah.
Hut. So they basically are eating pizza at April's while the Foot kidnaps Splinter.
Splinter, yeah.
They go back. They find Splinter's gone. Raphael has a very intense reaction, like, "Rrr."
Splinter! Is that another point in the movie?
Yeah, that's a different movie. Like in this movie, in that part, like the camera's going 360 around
Oh
him,
yeah,
and he's
he's
just
just like
screaming.
screaming. Yeah.
And then there's a guy like above the sewers who just like stops and like looks at the sewer vents, like, what's that loud noise that just came out of the sewer?
Hmm.
Um, and basically the turtles having nowhere else to go back to April's apartment, and
Hmm.
they're just gonna like crash there for now. Uh, and then Charles, in a weird like sort of offshoot storyline, Charles gets a phone call from the chief of police who's like, April O'Neil's all up my ass, and I need her to back the fuck off. So
Hmm.
he calls Charles. He's like, is this Charles? I can't remember what his last name is. Is this Charles? Do you have a son named Danny, Charles? And basically, like the chief is using the son as lever. He gets the son a son
Oh yeah, son gets
stealing.
like a book for something.
He
Probably
steals
stealing.
the stereo. Yeah,
Yeah.
stealing a car stereo. Like must have broke into a car and stole a stereo. Anyways, the cops trying to use as leverage for April's boss because he's trying to get April off his ass. And then so Charles visits April while the turtles are in her apartment, and they're like all hiding and stuff. And
But Danny
he
catches a glimpse of one under
yeah,
the table.
and he remembers that because later on he tells
It's
Shredder.
important.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh, turtles! What is that? Huh? What? A turtle? Human-sized turtle? That's not weird. Let me go look
Wait,
for him."
someone mentioned about this. I didn't dream it.
Yeah. And basically like April shoots them out of the apartment and the turtles are there and I can't remember exactly how, but the foot traces them. Oh, it's because
Danny, like,
Danny is a little bitch in this movie.
Danny, come back here.
Yeah,
Danny.
well, he runs away.
Yeah, he
That's
runs
right.
away. Like, yeah, dad stops. The dad's like, drilling him on like, what the hell he was doing, why he got like,
I
um,
make enough of them for both of us.
for both of
More
us.
than
Yeah.
enough for both of us to live. And you're stealing the stereo.
I'm sorry. Typical teenager.
Not as sorry as you can be when after
Yeah.
school.
So
And then
he runs out. He dashes out the
he goes
car.
skirt. And he gets out of the car.
He goes to the Foot Clan's hideout, which is a really cool place with great
I
music.
remember watching that scene and being like, "This is amazing."
Yeah, it
Like
has
it's
all the
all these like
stuff
kids
kids
who are
want.
our age at the
There are
time, and they're like
arcades. There's like people skateboarding.
skateboarding, and
Remember Sam
there are a
Rockwell?
bunch of arcades
Sam
being.
Rockwell is handing out cigarettes.
Yep, Sam Rockwell,
Um, yeah, and like
and you're like,
he
as a
shows
kid, you're like, "This
up
place is awesome."
to the place, and they're all like, "This is how we do
Did
it,
it,
do
did it,
it, do
did it,
it,
did
do
it,
it,
did
do
it.
it." It's, MC Hammer song, right?
I don't remember.
My time, this is my
Oh, I
time.
guess that is right. And
Yeah,
the other one was like, "Spin that wheel,
yeah. Do
spin
spin that
that
wheel.
wheel." So Danny sells him out because he's a little bitch. Um,
Oh, like no, Shredder calls a
Funny
meeting. He's
that
ignored.
actually, interestingly enough, that and it feels like you've kind of gotten pretty far into the film at that point. But
First time you really get
that's
to
the
see
first
him.
time you
Yeah,
see Shredder, I
he's kind
think.
of like anointing the newest member of the
Yeah,
Foot.
yeah. This is an honor that money cannot buy. Only the some get to wear the dragon doji. Um, and yeah, so he's
He's
sort
like
of like knighting he
new member
new
of the
member.
Foot, and then
And
he
then he gets into a spiel about,
brings up
okay,
how
so
we
you
have a
need
new.
to tell me about these fucking turtles,
He's like, we
okay?
have a new enemy, and Danny's like, you just said something about turtles. I just saw a
Yeah,
turtle.
Danny's like, turtle? I saw a turtle.
Turtle.
Um, and and he's like, this is my moment to shine.
Mm-hmm.
And then he goes, Master? And so he sells him out because Danny's a little bitch.
Mm-hmm.
And and that traces them back to
April's.
April's apartment. Because Danny saw them in April's apartment. He gives away where they're hiding. And this is again Steve Barron being true to the comics because this was another video I watched I didn't send you, but this was a comic book artist who was
Was it
a
seen in the comics?
yes. So there is a scene in the comics, and he was talking to this sketch artist, this comic book artist who's worked on the Turtles before. He had this interview with two others who were really like loved the first film, and so they had this conversation about it. And one of the guys is like, the first introduction to Ninja Turtles I had was he went to as a kid he went to Sam's Club, which tells you how old Sam's Club is apparently.
Mm.
And apparently at Sam's Club when he was a kid, this must have been in the 80s or something.
Yeah. You could still buy
Um,
in bulk back then?
there was Sam's Club at one point was selling the Ninja Turtle comic in bulk. Like
Oh,
you could buy the entire series.
wow.
And apparently some jackass had ripped open the bulk set like and there was a loose comic sitting on the floor and he picks it up and so his this guy's introduction into Ninja Turtles was this sketch artist's favorite comic episode, like
Mm-hmm.
favorite whatever, like story from the comic books in which the turtles are out Christmas shopping with April O'Neil and Leonardo, not Raphael in the movie, it's Raphael. Leonardo is off alone doing his own thing and gets jumped by the Foot Clan and nearly killed.
Ah, so it's like, okay.
So they basically in the
They
movie,
recreated it, but like differently.
like he stays true to the comic by reintroducing the story into the film, but like Raphael gets frustrated with Leonardo. He's basically like, "When are we gonna go? How we gotta go look for Splinter? When are we gonna go try to find the foot?" And he's like, "Oh, that's the plan
Plan from
from
a
our
great
great leader."
leader
And
to
Leonardo's
sit
like,
here on our butts.
Leo Song's like, I'm not you. I've never stated I'm your leader. And he's like, yeah, well, you act like it sometimes. And he runs off, and Leonor's like, yeah, well, we don't need you.
Can you say
And
some? Can we pause for a sec?
can you pause?
Okay.
Okay. Ray's gonna re-beer, and we are back. Okay,
Okay.
so
So yeah.
basically, the director Steve Barron stays true to the comic, but swaps Raphael in for Leonardo. Raphael
Mhm.
gets mad. It
So
he's
instead of Leonardo getting jumped in the comics, it's Raph
Yeah,
getting jumped in the
right, in
movie.
the film.
In a different setting too.
Yeah. So, and this kind of goes to Raphael's character. I can't speak to the comics because I don't really know them, but Raphael's sort of the hothead of the
Mm.
group.
So I actually think the guy who you sent me when he was doing retrospective said like I don't know in the TV show or maybe they did this in the movie. Again, I feel like this is a thing that then carried through. I'm sure in like the comics and the movies going forward and whatnot. It might have been the movie where they decided Raph's going to be the hothead.
Yeah.
Um, it could have been the TV show though too. I can't remember for sure, but in the movie for sure, they're like, okay,
Probably because his bandana is red.
yeah, they're like, okay,
It's like his mood ring.
Leonardo is like the pseudo leader. And you do see this going through even in the most recent movie where Seth Rogen was either directing or producing it. I can't remember. Leonardo is like kind of leader. Raph is the hothead. Michelangelo is the goofy guy, and Donatello is like the brains.
And one of the things that like is pointed out by one of the YouTubers I was watching in preparation for this was that like in the first film, it's not really until the second film they kind of make Donatello Brainiac. There's really like no opportunity in the
Mm.
film where like Donatello kind of shows that side of him. Other than like
No, yeah, in the second movie, like he's all of a sudden like, yeah, I don't really show that in the first movie, but in the second movie they do
he's
highlight that a
like
lot. He
he's
almost
kind of
becomes like the figurehead of the movie.
yeah.
He's featured more than the other
Yeah,
turtles,
he's the one like working with the
which is
scientist.
annoying because he's not only is it the new voice, like you don't recognize him, his voice
Yeah, you're like this
from
isn't
the
the
first
Donatello
movie.
I know.
In a weird way, I feel like all the characters are voiced fantastically in the first movie. Like the voices
Yeah.
fit for the characters, and then in the second
And their
movie,
expressions are all different. Like they have different faces. Like they don't all look the same.
yeah, in the second movie, you can just if you're a big fan of the first movie, you can just tell you
The
can
second
hear
movie
that. You
sucks.
can hear the Donatello. Like every time he speaks, it just like
So
really annoys you, I feel like.
everything annoys you. Well,
Um,
when as kids, I can't. I mean, look, I did like it as a
as a
kid.
kid, I liked it.
I liked the
Yeah,
second movie, but watching it,
revisiting as an
yeah,
adult, I'm
it's
like,
like
and knowing
this
what they
sucked.
did to the second movie, where it became like super commercialized and became
Yeah,
a children's movie.
yeah.
Um, like, yeah, it's hard to
Like
like.
they're not allowed to use their weapons anymore. Like they
Yeah,
have the weapons on them, but they're not allowed
they're not
to.
allowed to use them.
They
And
don't
if you
have
watch
to
that,
watch the second movie over again. They
watch
don't
the second movie.
ever
Yeah,
feel the guy instead of using nunchucks. Michelangelo in that first scene where they're in like the mall or
it's
whatever,
like
he's using sausage
sausage.
links.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
mean the whole
so
first scene
stupid.
is like
God,
them
it's so
doing
dumb.
everything they can not use their weapons. But yeah, and I didn't even notice that as a kid. I was like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
another Ninja Turtles movie.
Right. Yeah,
Yay.
yeah, yeah.
And then like, yeah, I had to watch a video where it's like, yeah, the adults didn't like it, and like they
Right.
were like told not to use their weapons.
Whatever.
I'm sure there are moments here and there through the film they do use their weapons because it's insane for them to have weapons and then never use them, but use them very infrequently.
Yeah, I mean the weapons in in the first movie, their weapons are in their hands constantly whenever they're in a fight
Yeah.
scene.
Heck,
Rightly
Leonardo
so.
cuts Shredder's arm, makes him
Yeah.
bleed.
If he bleeds, we can kill him.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, so they're at April's apartment. April does this thing where she has like a
She has a shop underneath.
thrift shop underneath her apartment. She's just like giving everyone a tour. She's like, I'm sorry about your dad. He's missing, but you can stay with me however
Sorry,
long you
sorry about
want.
your rat dad.
Let me show you the digs. And as she's, uh, you know, Leonardo and Raphael have this little butting heads.
Hmm.
Raph is like, oh, so that's a plan from a fierce leader. Send her about to do nothing.
Hmm.
And they're
Right,
like
right.
waiting to like, I don't know, what was Leonardo's plan? Just waiting to collect more
Well,
information,
so basically, like,
smoke them out a little
and
bit.
I only remember this because I rewatched the movie recently. Um, basically, April O'Neil is basically April stays on the story,
April, yeah, is trying to
and
smoke them out a little bit.
she's like, okay, the 5 o'clock is going to show, and like maybe we'll get a concerned citizen who calls in and gives us some. Basically, it's like, hey, we're going to do this I'm going to keep on this, and we're going to do this news story, and maybe a concerned citizen will call with information.
Right,
And it's basically like, hey, if you have any information, like, give us a call.
right. And Raph is like, what the heck are we doing?
Yeah, and Ralph like,
Um,
he's like, I don't want to wait around. Like, we need to be out there.
he needs to go take a breather on his own while the rest of them are just like, let's go take this fun tour with April.
And basically, he gets jumped,
Yeah.
which is again true to the comic, but instead of Leonardo, it's Raphael. And
And that is
instead of
another
Christmas
like
shopping, which is weird in the comic, like I guess they're not hiding because they're out Christmas shopping. I don't know, whatever.
it's
But
another great scene in the movie.
awesome scene.
Memorable scene, the fight on the rooftop
Yeah, fighting all of the fighting scenes in the movie are
are
memorable.
great.
They're all awesome.
Especially the ending one. Oh my
Oh
God.
man.
Anyways, we'll get to that
So
soon, I'm
like
sure.
Ralph is basically like he's just jumped by the entire Foot Clan. And he holds out for a little bit. He's like, well, you guys must be studying the bridge book of
Ninja
martial
fighting.
ninja fighting. And he's beating him up for a little bit. He's like, how do you guys expect to beat me? And then a
Yeah.
bunch more show up. He's like, good answer,
Good
good
answer.
answer.
They throw his like weapons off the side.
Yeah,
How does he get them back? They must find
I
they
don't
must I don't think they
remember.
ever show how they find them again, but
Yeah, they toss
somehow he
this
gets his weapons
they
back.
toss his size over the building.
Always losing those size.
Yeah.
Damn, damn.
He says damn again when he fights Casey Jones.
Yeah.
And then the third time I can't remember.
We
But
did brush over Casey Jones. He did
yeah,
little like
Ralph fights.
exposition here after he lost his sai. He went to go see a movie. He was coming back. Casey Jones was basically beating up two
He
robbers.
used to play hockey, now he's a
Yeah,
vigilante.
makes perfect sense if you think about it.
Right.
But anyways,
Explains the hockey stick.
Raph is like, okay, you're being a little too harsh. Like I get the vigilanteism, like I do the same thing, but
Same.
you're beating up too much. Anyways, they have a little fight, and he gets the better of Raph.
Yeah. That's
And
important to this
important to this
discussion
rooftop fight scene
because okay, so they're walking. They walk through the shop. They're coming back up the stairs. They're back in April's apartment, and April's wondering where Ralph is, and they're like, "Oh, he." And it's true. Basically, Donatello's like, "Oh, he does this all the time. He like goes
yeah,
off
which
and
he does in
which he does
earlier on
do."
in the movie.
Um, and he goes off on his own and he blows off steam. And as soon as they get back in April's apartment, he's thrown through the glass
Hmm.
and lands on the floor,
Hmm.
and the foot jump in. And one of the things that confuses me watching this back is they kind of like take his pulse and April's like, "Oh my God!" Like she shows the most emotion. She's like, "Oh my God, is he dead?" And Leonardo like
They
checks
check
his
him. It's
pulse and
like
he's like,
still breathing.
he's like, no, but barely. But like they don't seem that concerned that he's almost like they almost seemed they. It seemed like the Turtles as a collective showed more emotion to the fact that Splinter was kidnapped than they did that their brother is like
Hmm.
on the verge of death.
Right. Anyways, we
Um,
get another good scene. I mean, this fight scene
the
in the
fight scene there is
in
great.
the apartment, and then eventually in the thrift shop,
Yeah,
it's all really great.
a lot of comedic moments. I mean,
We
like
get
the
a great
fighting.
scene where like almost immediately where Michelangelo has to stand off with another nunchucker, which if
That's
you're
the very first thing that
you
happens.
were in the
Basically, like.
UK, you didn't get the benefit of seeing, but
Yes, they cut that out. But basically this guy from the Foot Clan steps up. He's like, "Oh yeah, you got nunchucks too? Let me show off like my moves."
fellow chucker, eh?
Right? And they do like this little standoff, and then basically it ends with each of them doing their own moves, and then
It's
Michelangelo
kind of like spinning
is
it
like
like a
he's twirling it.
basketball almost, like on your
Yeah,
finger.
and he's like, keep
Practicing.
practicing. And then Donatello
Donatello
jumps
jumps over
over
him
his
and does like
shoulder or
a
whatever.
kick,
Yeah.
jump
And the
kick.
fight breaks out, and basically the fight goes on and they keep getting swarmed by the foot,
Yeah, more and more Foot Clan keep jumping into this apartment from this
and
like
somebody hands off a
this
bunch of
upper level.
axes to like
Yeah, and
basically
they're
a
like
bunch of them have
chopping the
axes.
floor, trying to hit Michelangelo, who's also now on the ground.
And at one
Forget how does he
point
get on the ground?
he tells hey Donnie, fortune
Fortune
wheel,
wheel,
dude. He
wheel of
spin
fortune, dude,
Oh
and yeah,
yeah, wheel of
spins
fortune
him
and
and
spins them. And because the foot had like been chopping this goddamn floor so much,
and more keep spilling in.
they look up above and more reinforcements about to come in from the foot, and he's like, Donatello's like, this might not be the best time for your friends to jump in here.
Structurally speaking,
And they come in
almost immediately after he says that, the floor falls from underneath them,
reinforcements from the foot
and
come in, they
they fall into more reinforcements. Like
yes,
as soon
because
as like they stand up, they're like, there's the main guy who's Shredder's like right hand
Shredder's right
guy,
hand guy's
the
there.
bald
He
dude.
has a name, but I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, yeah.
But he goes, attack! He does like this little hand
Hand
signal,
motion, yeah.
They talk with hand signals apparently, and
Hmm.
he does this little motion, tell him attack.
Yeah, yeah. They're
Um,
like the Navy SEALs.
exactly. The Japanese Navy SEALs. And so basically it ends with fire. Somebody from the foot hits an electrical wire,
With these axes they're carrying
causes a fire. Casey Jones comes back into the mix because
to save the day.
he
Like,
had oddly enough
yeah,
he's like creep. He's kind of a creep.
he saw Raph
He
fighting on
saw
this
Ralph
rooftop.
on the rooftop because he was and by accident he's like peering through these binoculars. He's scoping the city out. Who knows what he's really looking for? And
Looking for April
Yep,
later on in the movie for sure.
exactly. Um, Casey gives great massages, by the way.
Apparently,
Apparently. And he catches Ralph, and so that's how he finds out where they are, and then he comes into the mix. And the turtles escape. Fire's lit in the apartment or in the shop. They
hmm
escape into April's van. Casey is covering for him, and then he ends up somehow escaping too. I don't know. I feel like they would have jumped. I feel like the escape scene's kind of ridiculous because I feel like they would have jumped them before the attempt to escape.
they find this old like chute, like maybe it was a
Yeah.
laundry chute or
Yeah,
something.
April remembered as a kid there was a way out, and
Hmm.
they had to move a bunch of shit, and basically they get out.
They get out. Yeah.
They get in the van, and apparently a lot of the film that I do recall this in the film, but like a big portion of the film is shot in well actually the entire film minus a few scenes is shot in North Carolina.
Oh, really?
But I imagine this farmhouse scene is somewhere in North Carolina.
They
Um,
go to a farmhouse. I'm not sure what
they
farmhouses
go to
exist
April.
near New York City.
Yeah, they drive away. And again, this is true to the comics.
Hmm.
Where they have this sojourn basically out in the farm.
Basically, they go to a farm. We can skip most of the farm stuff. I mean,
Nothing really happens.
Raph wakes up. He
One of
heals
the funny
up.
things about the farm though and Ralph healing is they don't really do anything to him. They're just like, hey,
They just put a
fill this tub with quarter full of water and put
water.
him in
Yeah, yeah.
there.
None of them really spend much time in water prior to that.
I don't know. It's just a weird scene to me because
Weird.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
and because April comes in as if knowing like this is important. Like gets a handful of water and just kind
I
of
mean,
tosses.
in my head as a kid, I'm like, water, turtle. Yes, this makes sense.
Yeah, okay.
But
But
like, they also none of them ever really,
don't
other than
bandage
living in a sewer, never really spend time in
don't
water.
bandage him up. Don't give him
Don't worry about
antibiotics.
too much.
Just fill this tub a quarter full of water and throw him in there.
He's immune. He'll heal up.
Yeah. So really nothing happens to the farm other than the fact that Ralph heals.
Hmm.
April and Casey start batting their eyes at each other.
Hmm.
Uh, Ralph wakes up and they go on this little meditation like outing where they all sit. This was like the final, and like Splinter comes back and is like, "This was your final lesson," kind of thing. Like they learn how to meditate
Hmm.
basically. And the mind is stronger than the body or whatever. And so having done this meditation outing in which there's a fire lit and in the fire comes the image of Splinter.
Hmm.
And Splinter says that he loves them and they've learned the final lesson and they're all going to be ninjas. They're all true ninjas now.
Yeah.
Um, and so having done that outing, they're basically like, okay,
It's time to go back to the old Big Apple. New York City.
New York City, baby.
yeah. and and the way in which when they I didn't remember this until I watched the movie, but they come back, Casey decides to sleep in the car because
Hmm.
he's claustrophobic, which he confuses with being homophobic.
Oh, okay.
Donatello calls him
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Donatello calls him, "You're claustrophobic," and he goes, "How dare you? I've never looked at another guy." Which doesn't make sense to me because to
Yeah.
be homophobic would be which does reveal his homophobia because he says he
Yeah.
doesn't never looked at another guy.
Yeah. I don't know if I've ever caught that before. Maybe I have, but anyway, I mean, one too many
Casey
concussions for Casey.
Casey's not very comfortable as a man,
No.
and
Former hockey player, he got hit in the head a
he
lot.
needs to work on himself. He also doesn't understand the fact that homophobia does not mean that you're gay. It means that you're scared of gay people,
Right. Which he is because he
which he
runs
is
out
in
to
revenge
hide
of
in
his
his car.
character. Yes. So, uh, Casey goes in his car because he doesn't like tight spaces. Yeah,
You get another nice shot of a Domino's box.
yes.
Except this time the
Danny, basically the big deal about them returning is somehow Danny found their hideout in the sewers, even though I don't think he ever went there. I don't think I'm not sure exactly how he finds their hideout, but
Mm.
when the Turtles and April and Casey come back to the sewers, they find Danny in their old home, and he's just kind of holding up there.
He ordered pizza, which is another Domino's like
Michelangelo and Donatello.
promo. Although I imagine like thinking about it now, like when they open the pizza box, the pizza is rotten, right?
Well, he says
He's
something
like, "Do you
like,
want to have pizza?" He's like,
"Do you like penicillin
"Do
on
you
your
like
pizza?"
penicillin in your pizza?" Which means like the pizza's
I never got that joke.
mold or something on it.
Oh, okay, because they do
I
like a
think.
funeral thing, like dun,
Yeah,
dun,
they
dun,
can't have the pizza
dun,
because
dun.
I'm pretty sure it has gone bad. Which you can't imagine is a great promo for Domino's.
It's also like the guy's like, "Oh, I have leftover pizza here." It's like he gives the impression that it's not been there for that long.
Yeah,
I don't know. Anyways, apparently Domino's sells moldy pizza. According
apparently.
to TMNT, that's not us saying
That's
that.
okay because
That's
they
the
partnered
Turtle saying that.
with Pizza Hut afterwards.
Um, so
This was
okay,
a
so
loose alliance between Domino's and
for some reason, Danny decides to leave the sewers that night, and he goes back to, and he's not been back to, like, this is one thing the Shredder and his right-hand man are like, where's the boy been? We haven't seen the boy for a while.
Mhm.
Boy. And he decides to go back to his old stomping grounds so that he can listen to MC Hammer some more. Um,
Get some knowledge from Splinter.
get some knowledge from Splinter. He wants to go talk to Splinter. And sitting with Splinter, Shredder comes up on him, and in his pocket he finds a drawing from April because April told Danny that he could have one of her drawings, and it was of the turtles. And in finding the drawings, like Shredder puts two to two together, and he's like, "Okay, Danny's lying to me. Why is he lying? Let me like search his pockets. I found this picture of the turtle." Basically, Shredder's like he sees that and he's like, "They're back,"
Hmm.
because the Foot Clan's been searching for the turtles.
Yeah, yeah. And then we get maybe the probably the best scene in the movie.
Yeah, and basically Shredder tells his lieutenant, he's like, "All right, I'm going this time because we're gonna end this." And so the Shredder's like, "I'm going too." And so the Foot Clan basically starts entering the sewer. Like they are going to like enter into the sewers to try to flush them out.
Hmm.
And this is like the best fight scene of the movie is
Hmm.
like them taking on the Foot Clan. Um, and obviously fights ensue.
Can we pause?
Gonna pause. I actually might have to pee, so let's pause. All right, we are back.
All right.
I took a pee and grabbed my last beer, and we
Back
are
to like the start of like the end and like the
so
beginning of the best scene in the movie, I
okay.
think.
Basically, like let's wrap this up by jumping into the final scene. We're not going to talk about two. Two kind of sucked. Like Ooze, we got the monsters.
Get a backstory of the ooze, yeah.
Super Shredder
Vanilla
who
Ice.
defeats himself.
I feel like this was the peak of Vanilla Ice, and then like he falls off after this movie.
The fact that Vanilla Ice is in movie two is enough reason for you not to watch it.
Mhm.
So the movie ends with the Foot and Shredder realizing the turtles are back, and they basically this is the part of the movie I did not entirely watch back, but the fight starts in the sewers
Mhm. Mm.
and then works its way out into the New York City streets, and then ends on the rooftop in which they fight the Shredder.
Mhm.
But I mean, like it's I'm like with most of the fight scenes in the movie, all the fight scenes are great, and I don't remember anything vividly about the end of this movie other than the fight with the Shredder at the top of
I
the.
mean, I remember there are points in like the fight, like there's I guess it must have been Donatello skateboarding
Oh yeah, okay. He's
through the
skateboarding.
sewers and
He's
beating up
hitting a bunch
people
of
while
the.
he's like skateboarding.
Mhm.
They're all beating up on the Foot as soon as they
Right.
enter their home in the sewers.
They basically like you see the Foot like crawling into the sewers, and then you see them crawling out.
There's a
You
really
see
cool
like
like
beating them out.
almost there's a moment where I feel like music changes to like when they're all starting to crawl out of the sewer. Like the Foot are trying to escape from the sewer because they're like, oh my God, we're gonna beat the crap out of us.
Yeah, right.
The turtles have the advantage. And
Right.
like it goes did it did it what's the music? Dun, 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 dun,
Oh,
dun,
oh,
dun,
oh,
dun, 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 dun. Yeah, so that starts to play. Dun, 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 dun. And they all climb out of the sewers. They're starting to beat him up on the streets.
kicking him
Michelangelo
all.
has this really cool moment where like this guy is standing behind him and swings an axe for his head.
Oh yeah, he
His
goes
head
his head.
ducks into his
Right, right,
shell,
right.
and then he turns around and just gives him one is turtle.
Uh,
There's a really cool scene where they're climbing up the fire escape and beating up the Foot Clan
okay,
while
so
they're
that's how they
climbing
get
up.
on the roof. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so basically, like they turn the tables on the Foot. The Foot are no match for the turtles,
Yeah.
and they scale the building,
Mhm.
and for some reason that becomes the last place for them to fight. I don't know the strategic like you would think that the turtles are going to make their way towards wherever the Foot Clan's headquarters are.
Yeah.
But I don't know that this has any strategic value, but they end up working their way up to this building.
Mhm.
And
The last really cool like fight scene thing was like Raph doing the rolling and he
oh yeah,
sprints up from like a rolling position to then like spin kick
kick
and
all
kick
like three of them.
three of
Yeah.
the Foot Clan down.
Right. So they make short work of the Foot, and the movie ends with rightly so. Shredder's like, I need to come along because you guys are fucking incompetent, and
Yeah. You
this,
guys don't know how to fight these
yeah,
guys.
and they fight in the old style.
Fighting the old style.
And so Shredder meets them at the top of this building, and this is the final fight scene of the movie. And basically, all four of them are like they kind of like jokingly look at him like looks like more of a can opener. Like
Hmm.
they like Michelangelo's like poking fun at him,
Hmm.
and they at first they take him well really the entire time, which seems to be like a mistake. They take him one on one. They like do rock
Hmm.
paper scissors to figure out who's going to fight him.
Hmm.
Ralph, I think, goes first, and then Leonardo. Both like he makes quick work of both of them, and then it's Donatello and Michelangelo who do the rock paper
Hmm.
scissors to find out who's going to go next. And basically it gets to the point where Shredder's basically beating the shit out of all of them.
Hmm.
For some reason, the four of them don't decide to coordinate attack him at once, and it gets to the point where Leonardo is the only one to land a blow on him, cuts his arm,
Yeah.
but Shredder gets him into a kill point where he gets him onto the ground,
There's this like swinging thing where he like disarms him and then gets him onto the ground.
and he has the needle, like his staff and the needle pointed at his neck, and he tells the other ones to throw their weapons over.
Mhm.
And then he goes, "Fools! The three of you might have overpowered me with the loss of but one, but now your fate
Fate
will be
be
his."
his.
No! And and that's the moment when they're like there's like he's about to kill Leonardo. They're like the three of them are standing by screaming like, "No, don't do it." And
Daddy Splinter
and
shows up.
Splinter shows up. And like Splinter had been, and we jumped over some scenes, but Splinter had basically been released by Casey and Danny.
Hmm.
Sam Rockwell tried to stop them, and then Sam Rockwell goes, "Well, we're a family." Like, and Casey basically does a speech like, "Blah blah blah, blah,
AC
blah."
appeals to the better nature of Sam Rockwell.
Yes,
He's like, hey, you're better than this. Hey, you're gonna be immune.
Yumi Moon.
You're gonna be
We
immune.
should send Casey to DC and talk to some
Mm.
people. Um, anyways, so Casey like convinces them with some speech that they should be better than this. And
Call
and
this family. You call that over there family.
family? And so because of that, Splinter has been released from his chains, and so that's now why he shows up on this rooftop. And there's some sort of like funny behind the scenes about like because Splinter is a puppet, unlike the other one, unlike the Turtles who are bodysuits with an animatronic
Yeah,
head. Splinter is a puppet.
yeah,
And so they really had to like manipulate the last scene where Shredder charges him with the spear, and Splinter does this little sidestep with a nunchuck and
yeah.
flips him over.
All the characters, by the way, like remember, yeah, you might mention they had to throw their weapons away, and I think you do see like the nunchucks get caught on like
Oh, that's right.
the ladder, and
Yeah.
so obviously hinting that like when Splinter pulls out that nunchuck, he picked up the one that got caught.
Yeah, and I don't think this is in the YouTube video I sent you, but it was in one of the ones that I watched. Was basically like the way in which that Splinter defeats the Shredder, like they had to film it that way because like the puppet had almost no movement at that point in
Hmm.
the film. Like it was literally a puppet. It's like, okay, all we can do is have this guy sidestep and swing this nunchuck and like flip it. Like it was like a very like well, this was easy. Whoop, like, you're
Hmm.
defeated. And they had to do it that way because the puppet that was Splinter was just like a rag doll at that point. Like I mean, like I think at that point in filming, he was a little bit more deteriorated, and I don't know. It's just like the guy who was the sketch artist for the comics, more recent sketch artist. I think that was the video I was watching where he was talking about like every time that scene in the movie comes on, he has to watch it because he's like because you can tell by watching it closely, like, okay, like this is just ridiculous. Like
Hmm.
this like the way they filmed this had to be done this way because of the fact that Splinter's a puppet.
Hmm.
Uh and so anyway, Splinter flips him over the side of the building. This does kind of stay true to the comics where in the comics Splinter dies in like the very first comic, like one of the very first comics. They kill Splinter right away. Um and he throws a grenade at them and they kick it back at him and it blows up and he falls over the side of the building with the grenade that blows up. I don't know in the movie it's not there's no grenade thrown, but like basically Splinter gets or Shredder gets thrown over the side of the building. He's holding on, and in a very dishonorable act, he is trying to kill uh Splinter by throwing a
Like a
knife at
knife at
him.
his yeah face.
But Splinter's the one holding him up,
Yeah.
and in dodging the knife and catching it, I think he catches it. Like in dodging the knife, he lets the shredder go. He falls into like this garbage
Yeah.
disposal and
This
case.
is what like one of the darker moments of the film. Like, I must imagine parents definitely not
Oh
big
yeah.
fans of this, but like he falls into a garbage disposal, garbage truck, the back of a garbage truck, Casey Jones just like, I'm gonna straight up murder this guy. Whoops, he pulls the garbage thing. Of course, he doesn't die because you do see him in the second movie. Like
Yeah, you don't know.
his hand pops out of the landfill.
Yeah.
But like it's still like holy shit! Like you just
Casey just crushed this human
crushed this
being.
guy to
Like
death.
this is really like grim and dark.
Yeah.
And he makes very light of it. He's like, "What?
Whoops.
Let me crush this human being to death."
You don't
Like a
really.
damn man.
All you really see is like his helmet getting crushed, but like
Yeah,
you
well,
get the
you,
gist.
you, you kind of understand what happened. Um, and then they win. And then they dance to Teenage Mutant Ninja Power.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant
Ninja
Ninja
Power.
which apparently was like in the top chart of the UK
This UK guy
for like
who
4 weeks.
we watched, he was like the only like because the movie didn't come out in the UK until November, and so this guy was like the only way I could catch glimpses of what the turtles looked like in any film of the turtles was by watching this top of the UK charts, which was the Power song.
Mhm.
Um, anything else? So that I mean that's the end of the movie.
So in the movie,
And then the second movie, don't bother with.
not
If
really.
you've
Yeah.
ever seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action movies, watch the first one, ignore the second and
If
third.
you're a kid, you want to watch a fun kids movie,
Fun kid
sure, I guess
movie, the
so.
second's fine, but like if you're an adult, be an adult and only watch the first one
Yeah.
because the other ones suck. Um, I mean that's it. I mean that's it for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's our fourth episode.
Or
By reaching 4 episodes, we have now solidified ourselves as a continuing podcast.
yeah.
So
We're
gonna
looking
keep
for $1 million donations.
We are looking for we're looking for sponsors.
Yeah.
If you're a sponsor who also sells beer, you can send beer our way for free.
There's beer in
Masthead.
this glass.
There's
There's
beer in this
a
glass. There's beer in my
brewery
belly.
here.
You know, it goes from my mouth into my belly like this, like that. Um, so if you're a brewery and you're in the Cleveland area and you're named Masthead and you'd like to sponsor us, that'd be
I
great.
mean, we love beer.
Or if
If you
you're
want to
named
send us gifts, you want to send us money. If you
Money,
want to send us
gifts,
gifts,
GIF,
GIF.
GIFs, if you want to make gift
But
baba.
more
Or
likely
content.
add the T at the end of that.
Yeah.
Gifts.
If you're a toy shop and want to send me figures, that'd be great. Like I'm into Transformers, the
Did-
Studio 86 series. I need a Grimlock.
Wait, you
Somebody
said
send me
you said no more toys, is what you said?
My wife just told me I'm not allowed to buy anymore.
Okay, that's
So
what I thought. I was like, did Lauren put the kibosh on
okay,
that?
so if you're an audience member and
Yes.
and
Send us
you
toys
send me toys,
of things we're talking about.
80. Okay, so I'm gonna list some stuff off here. Studio 86. I want a Grimlock. I want Megatron's going to come out soon. I want an Optimus Prime who's already come out. I want Ultra Magnus. Like, please send me those things. I don't want to pay for them, so send them to me for free.
Send Ninja Turtle stuff. I
Send
mean,
Ninja Turtle stuff. Okay, so this is a sort of a shameless thing for me. The thing that I bought was a Chinese remake. So the turtles I have, we'll see how they look.
oh, okay.
Apparently, they're a good quality remake. But I'm a little ashamed about that. So if you're a figure collector, be careful if you're buying on eBay. Um, send us cool shit.
Yeah,
Send us
send us
toys.
stuff.
We want toys. I want figures. I want
Toys.
stuff to collect. I want to show them on my shelf.
We want PS1 games.
PS1 games too.
Uh,
Send me a PS5.
send me send me one of those PS3s that can play PS1 and PS2 games.
I think we still have one of those.
I need one. I don't have any. Send me a PS1.
Anyways,
what's the remake of the PS1 they came up?
send
out
us
with that? Yeah.
cool free
Send us
shit.
cool shit, nerdy shit,
Nerdy shit,
video
cool free
games,
shit, figures,
money.
I'm looking. I think in the future we're going to talk about Alien. I would love an Alien figure.
Most of all, money.
Money. We need sponsors. We need money.
Um.
Um.
Anyways, do you want to talk about
So
next episode?
for the next episode, now that we've done shameless plugs about getting money and donations and sponsors. Next time, I feel like we've done this sort of segmented thing where we've done film, TV, games. Now that we've done film again, I feel like we're going to return to games and we're going to talk about Metal Gear
Metal Gear
Solid.
Solid. One of our favorite games.
One of the best gaming
Oh my God,
franchises
so good.
ever.
I mean,
2 is a little convoluted, but it's still a great game. The
yeah,
story's a little convoluted.
for
but it's an
sure.
awesome game. So we're going to talk about, I think right now, the idea is to talk about the 1, 2, 3. So from Metal Gear Solid 1, Sons of Liberty. Is it Sons of Liberty?
One is Metal Gear Solid, two is Sons of
And
Liberty,
then 3 is Snake
three
Eater.
is Snake Eater.
So we're gonna talk about 1, 2, and 3 next time. Join us. This has
Cheers.
been Split Personalities.
Split personalities.
If you're a brewery in Cleveland, sponsor us.
Thank you.
Over and out.
Subscribe and like.
Like
And
and
subscribe.
subscribe.
Whatever. Do one or the other. Or both.
Both. No,
Both.
both. All right. Bye.